As people head back to school and work, doctors say there's an increased risk for the epidemic of eating disorders to get even worse.
And now there's a new focus on getting help for minorities who suffer with the disorder and often don't have equal access to treatment.
Health reporter Stephanie Stahl joins us with how a Temple student is leading the way to change that.
Her name is Tiffany, and she is very special. About 30 million Americans struggle with eating disorders, and for minorities, finding mental health services has been difficult, if not impossible. Well, Project HEAL is aiming to change that.
I was very conscious about my weight since I was a child.
Tiffany Ramirez says she has been struggling with an eating disorder since she was 10 years old.
I kind of got the nickname skinny girl, but in Spanish it's flaca. And for me, that was kind of like my image, and I wanted to keep that image.
At 22, this Temple University student now knows she had a distorted view of herself.
When I was really, really thin, I would look in the mirror and say, like, I need to be thinner.
The epidemic of eating disorders skyrocketed during the pandemic, isolation and social media overexposure being big triggers. Added stress now coming from going back to school and work.
There's social pressure, there's academic pressure, there's appearance pressure.
Rebecca Eyre is with Project HEAL, an organization focused on creating equitable access to eating disorder care.
Less than 20% of people with eating disorders ever access treatment due to exorbitant costs, prohibitive insurance barriers, and systemic biases about who has eating disorders.
She says Tiffany's story is typical of what often happens to minorities with eating disorders. They're underdiagnosed or ignored.
I called every facility in Philadelphia that helped with eating disorders, and they all say they don't help people with government insurance. I do think that there is systemic racism here when it comes to eating disorder treatment.
Tiffany says she finally found help with free programs at Temple.
Eating disorders, they're a killer, and most people don't recognize how serious it is.
And she found help, fortunately. Now, Tiffany says when she was growing up, people thought she was just a picky eater. She says it was much more serious than that. We have more information on warning signs for eating disorders and places to find help. CBSPhiladelphia.com.
Nice job, Tiffany. Yes, indeed.
Exactly.
Step up.
Right.